Do you know that Kentucky jelly, or what is it?
KY jelly.
KY jelly? Yeah. Kentucky jelly. KY jelly, also known as Kentucky marmalade. Like, I like to have me a peanut butter and lube sandwich.
Just coat my buns.
That's
You're welcome.
Oh, man. Hey guys, what's going on here? River Sullivan coming at you right here, right now, pre-recorded for your live listening pleasure yet again on any other of the forms of the social, anti-social media out there that you guys are out there listening to. I am your host, River Sullivan, and this is the season finale for Season 2 of This Evening Tonight. And with me yet again, as always, my friend, hetero life mate, Silver Fox of sultry vapes and sippins of coffee and rubbins of germicidal antibacterial soaps.
Yeah.
Wind without. Yeah, what?
Just blew me away.
I'm on it today. You know him. You love him. He's the yin to the yang. Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Shutting her down.
Shutting it down. Because since we've started Season 2 with 2020, it's been nothing but a shit show. Don't get me wrong, it's made for some good episodes, but I'm trying to do my part to undo the bad juju that is this year so far. We are over halfway through it. And also, if the audio goes to crap, guys, it's thanks in total to
bots.
Yeah, because I have contacted the Focusrite people over a week ago with urgent requests on trying to fix this system and figure out what's wrong with it. So hopefully I've done everything I can to make shoestring fixes and duct tape and putting a Band-Aid on the bullet hole that is whatever's going on with this. Hopefully, we still have the audio. If it craps out, I apologize. We'll try to salvage as much as we can. So in that time, though, when we close out Season 2 here today, guys, we're going to be taking a few weeks off, but I'm also going to be trying to record more regularly here, so we will have a backlog coming up of Season 3. And hopefully with that, the Season 3 good vibes, good juju vibes are going to just get this year right back on track where we want it to be. But some things will stay the same, like the lovin's of our sultry sippins of coffee that we like to enjoy and talk about on this show. And this week's coffee was a little sampler that we got brought to. So this week's coffee, guys, is known as Kentucky Mountain Coffee Company. We're drinking their Coal Miners Brew. Got a little pouch over here, a little 2-ouncer, enough to run through the French press for 2 cups, one for me and Scott. And it says that it is a full-bodied, dark roast espresso blend, rich and stout. Coal Miners Brew will keep you moving for a 10-hour shift. So what do you think so far?
Pretty good.
It's not bad. It's not the number one. It hasn't beat the Kentucky Nose, which is now our current champion.
Yeah, I'd probably put this somewhere up there with... I can't say that it beats Lavazza or...
Do you think it's better than Lavazza?
No.
Yeah, Lavazza and Bustelo are still back there. They're third and fourth place because you got first place is Kentucky Nose, second is the Neebs, and then the Lavazza and Bustelo. This Kentucky Mountain stuff is not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean,
it's quality.
Yeah, it's definitely good, but it's just not where we're at in terms of our flavor. I know. I guess our taste buds are different. But if you guys like it, we will include a link in the description below here, or you can check them out at kymtncoffee.com. That's kymtncoffee.com. So, COVID's still going on. I'm no longer going to be providing any update numbers on that.
Oh, thank you.
We got to move on. We have to acknowledge that it's still out there, which it is. But let's move on. Because we are going to move on from the glum that is 2020. The sad, just constant despair that comes from reading the news for more than 30 seconds or listening to the radio for more than a minute. So we're gonna stay positive this time. We say that every time, but we'll see what dark rabbit hole we go down. I'd like to talk a little bit about here today some of the positive things that have come out of this year, because not a lot of that has been focused on. And by positive things, I mean things that we do to make ourselves feel better. Things that, things that are just that little bit of icing on the turd cake that is 2020. So what have you been doing there, Scott, to keep your spirits high? Been out there doing since, I guess, everything's starting to open back up,
Just keep on keeping on.
Okay, we were hoping for specifics. We need substance for this show to make time.
No, I mean, not really has a lot changed other than this kind of limit the number of trips I make to the stores and.
God damn it!
I don't know what you want. Like
I was trying to say.
Okay,
like,
sorry.
it's like, just wear my mask. No, God damn it, no.
I don't have what you call a fully functional brain. I will say this, silver lining. I have done a lot of landscaping.
Yeah,
because it's I've had time, sort of. But anyways. Did take a trip down to one of our wonderful state parks this weekend. Got a cabin.
Which park?
Holly River. I'd never been there before. My better half had. And,
Where's that at?
Webster County. It's just like south of Buchanan, just past the game farm.
South, deep south.
Yeah, kind of.
Not as south as like McDowell.
Oh no, not by far. No, but it was nice, very nice, and it was kind of rustic, but yet modern inside. Like you could tell they did updates as far as like the kitchen and the appliances, and it had a shower and all that. It was just a little tiny 2-bedroom, I guess you want to call it. It had a queen size bed in the living area, and then on the side there was a little room with bunk beds. But the outside was still original. I guess these cabins were built in the 1930s. By the CCC.
Like one of those, huh? Legacy cabin? Did you?
Yeah, legacy cabin.
So you stayed in a legacy cabin, because we just pulled the website up just now to take a look at it. Super cool. Hang on, let me see here. So they got 1 to 9 cabins, and then, they have like one luxury cabin, it looks like?
Yeah, that's the one with Wi-Fi.
Oh,
the
shit.
The glamper cabin.
You get stone and log construction, water and electric, fully equipped kitchen, linen service, which I'm guessing towels.
Yeah, towels, bed.
Bathroom with shower. Ooh. You have a place to pee, poop, and wash your butt.
Yes.
Stone fireplace.
Very convenient.
Sounds sexy. And an outside grill. Was it like one of those state park ones where you got to shove the charcoal in it? Or?
Yeah, they had that, and then they had like fire rings as well.
Oh, yeah.
And they even left me a complimentary bundle of wood and kindling. It was great.
Sorry about that, guys. Had to go away there for just a brief second here so I can eyeball some of these glorious cabins at the Holly River State Park in Webster County, West Virginia. And if I had to put a spin to it, I would tell you something like this. It's a very rustic aesthetic straight out of something around, I don't know, the 1800s.
Yes,
it is just blanketed in the rustic aesthetic that is the pioneer atmosphere. Do you want to feel disconnected from the world, going too fast? 2020 can suck a big one? Maybe you should try going down to the Holly River State Park in Webster County. You're hearing us in Webster County, please sponsor this. And I will use my voice for good to try to move them cabins for you.
Well, they also have like regular camping. Campground.
No, I mean, they look very nice, and then like the park is absolutely beautiful too. Like lots of trees and stuff. It's very nice.
Oh yeah, it's
almost identical to my yard.
Well, the naturalist, Miss Jane, who was very helpful and friendly to my kids, she told me that I guess it's considered a temperate rainforest.
Okay,
which I can attest to. Like it did rain like once a day for like 10, 15 minutes, and it was very cool there. And speaking of unwinding. Like, I've always enjoyed camping, but I really thoroughly enjoyed this weekend because I did not have cell service the entire time. It was great. It was glorious.
Yeah. Yeah, so, there's 9 cabins there, and they're all pretty basic with everything we listed, and then cabin number 10. The only difference is, there's a few here. Wait, what does it say?
Yeah, their website.
So the legacy cabins, Holly River's 9 original stone cabins were built by the Works Progress Administration in the 1930s.
Yeah.
They're old. And feature various room and bedding arrangements. They come with electricity and water, fully equipped kitchen, linen service, bathrooms, showers, wood fireplace, and an outdoor grill. Vacation cabin is 1 cabin. Holly River State Park's 2-bedroom frame-built vacation cabin is accessible and modernized with heating and air conditioning, fireplace, Wi-Fi, microwave, a fire ring, and fully equipped kitchen with range, refrigerator, freezer, dinner, and cookware. Linens are provided, open year-round. How much did you pay for that cabin? How long did you
For
stay?
2 nights was $170.
That's not bad.
Well, they're doing a 30% discount right now for in-state residents,
Okay.
and it's an extra 10%, so it's a total of 40% off
Enter the code COVID-19
if
and promo code.
you're a veteran.
Okay.
So altogether, it was 40% off.
I like it.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I'd like to do something like that. Man, I am gearing up because my big build up for 2020 for me that I'm hoping I don't get let down on is that beach trip I got lined up. Going down to Sandbridge Beach.
Where's that at?
It's on the stretch of Virginia Beach, but it is...
And one of the unique things about those cabins was, like, none of them were identical. There were some that were pretty much entirely stone construction.
Yeah.
Some of them were log. Ours was like that, like rough cut lumber look, I guess you could say, with like a stone porch.
So there we are. This is from Siebert Realty, the beach house that we rented for August, and it's called
August?
Delicate Balance. Got the pool, hideous decor on the inside, like it's bright fucking blue, like weird corduroy couches. I mean, we're not buying the place, so, but it was
Hey,
like,
who cares?
it's me, my parents, my, two of my brothers and their wives and their kids, me and the old lady, and we're gonna go out there for a week and just live it up. Do a lot of drinking. I'm gonna spend a lot of time there because there's a second floor, like outdoor, but like screened in sunroom. Got grill on the outside, the pool, which I love, right there. We'll be camped out right there in the little shady thing under the pool. Now we were looking at renting a motorcycle down there because I miss riding, and she was like, man, we should have a bike down there. I looked up how much it costs to rent a motorcycle. On the cheap, it would cost me about $600 to $800 just for the rental for like 4 days. But then you have to put like a $1,500 security deposit down.
Can you get a Segway maybe? Or?
You know what? I actually looked. I looked for electric scooters and shit. I was trying to find something. I was like, I just want to putt around on something. We're actually looking at a thing called a Surrey. You ever heard of those?
No, I have not.
It's a beach thing. It's like, it looks like a carriage, but it's a pedal.
Like a pedal cart?
Kinda. You can fit a bunch of people on them.
Basically,
God damn.
a manual side by side.
Yeah, and everybody pedals.
Fred
Like-
Flintstone.
So there's a Surrey rental place there, but it's 13 miles away from the beach house, and it costs $100 for a half day rental, which is 5 hours according to them. Because I guess you got to have it back before it closes. So the old lady's like, "Oh yeah, this 13 miles isn't bad." I said, "Yeah, when you're driving, but if you drive there, and then we have to rent it, somebody has to pedal that fucking thing back for 13 miles." She's like, "It'll be a workout." I said, "Yeah, but by the time I go 13 miles one way, it's time to turn around and go back. Yes, it's all flat, but
You might as well not even go back.
yeah." Now,
Drive around in a circle for 5 hours.
Well, it's like we were trying to find something because Mom's a little older and her knees aren't that good. So we thought, this would be nice. We'll all put around on there, have fun. Maybe rent a couple of them. So now that we know that that's out, I went and looked for some other stuff, just like typed in like electric carts, like maybe rent a golf cart or something with a motor. The only thing they had there was it's like Extreme Mobility Beach Chairs or something is the website. And it is like a rascal scooter with like these giant balloon tires on it. And the thing looks serious, but it was like, oh my God, this is built for people that are on my 600-pound life that want to go to the beach. Like, I said, nope, I'm pretty sure my mother would cancel the vacation and never talk to me again if I said, "Hey, Mom, I got you this turbo chair." Oh, no.
You know what we should do? 21 cabins. We should plan it. Because down there, or any of one of our many great state parks.
Rent out all the cabins.
Yeah, they're pretty close together. Like, not so close that it's intrusive, but yeah.
Well, not to talk about it, but because of the COVID, it's forced people to do some things on their property that give people that sense of, I guess, being out in public again.
Right.
There was a couple in the UK that it was an article that I'd read on that. They did a mini pub, and it looked phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looked like a full service bar. They went in there, but it was I mean, it was about the size of this office, but it had a bar for like 3 people. And then there was like a little table with 2 chairs right next to the window, and another table about where I'd be sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all done up to the nines, just dartboards and everything. I'd love to put something like that on this property, like a little cabin. And I'd put it off down there in the bottom corner of it where the grass hardly ever grows because of all the shade. I said, man, just put a little cabin right there, a little guest house. I think that'd be sweet. I mean, we have a guest room in here. But yeah, God, I don't know. Just, she'd probably turn it into the she shed or whatever, or I'd get kicked out and I'd call it the he hut, but.
Yeah.
Home ownership. Oh, speaking of home ownership.
Here we go.
Had some people out today to do a price. They gave me a new free quote for a metal roof.
What are we talking here?
Well, I knew it wasn't going to be super cheap. Like, I was thinking, oh, maybe a couple grand. Now, she wanted to charge $8,000. And don't get me wrong, that's $8,000 for them to come out with a crew and have them take 3 weeks to do it. To put metal up, and like they were going to boot everything and make it look real nice. And I said, okay, just let me get a copy of the invoice. And they gave me a copy of the invoice. I primarily had them out here just because I wanted them to take the measurements of the roof, which they provided me because they were like, hey, okay, well, let us know what you think. I said, oh, hey, so the paper we keep, does that have my measurements on there? And she was like, no. I said, can you write those down real quick? And she drew me a little diagram. I said, oh, thank you very much, ma'am. And the old lady wasn't really on board with a roof until they showed her the swatches.
The swatches?
Like the color swatches.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, oh, my God, there's multiple colors? I said, oh, yep, she's in it now. And she looks, and when they said the price, she kind of looked at me and was like, oh, God. And I was, don't worry, I got this. Because as soon as she left, said, we weren't going to buy a roof off them. I just needed the measurements. And they did that. So I called like C&M Metals or whatever, these guys out of Oakland, Maryland. And I did the price. It was like $2.48 a linear foot, and the panels come in 12-foot panels. Mm-hmm. So I did the math because they quoted me about 19 panels for the company that was going to install it. I said it'd take 19 panels to do it. I said, okay. So I multiplied it by 20 versus like the $12 or something it was going to cost a foot, or it was $24 a panel. And it came out like $500 for all the panels.
All right.
It'll be a little bit more just because there's flashing that we'll have to do, but we'll be right around $1,000 to do it ourselves.
Well worth it.
We can do that.
Would you put like underlayment underneath it, or?
Oh, there's going to be a vapor barrier and everything. Yeah, you got to put the vapor barrier down. You got to put the framing down, which is just like 1x1 or 2x2 pieces of wood just to have that barrier there, because the vapor barrier will get eroded if you don't have a framework in between it to let it breathe.
Yeah, you have to forgive my lack of construction knowledge, but I wasn't sure, like, do you even need one if there's already a roof there?
They say yes, because there's always residual moisture that's built up. Now, what a lot of people do, or what I guess you're supposed to rip up all those shingles.
That
like,
seems dumb.
You're supposed to take them all off to the bare level, put the vapor barrier down, then build the framework, and then do the roof. It's the most correct way to do it. What a lot of people have just done now is they throw the vapor barrier down on top of the shingles, and then frame it, roof it, done.
All right.
And that C&M metal guy, the people I went through on that, it's certified to last for 40 years. Like, these shingles are good for 25 years and the house is 24 years old. Okay. 40 years, that'll be after the house is paid off. And it's going to tremendously, if we spend $1,000, do you know how, like, if we ever sell this house, the resale value would be phenomenal, because 40-year metal roof, we could be in it for 10 years. It's still got 30 years left on it. And that's the average of most people's mortgages. It's a big seller, because we looked at a house elsewhere and it had just had a roof put on it, and they wanted $140,000 for this house. And it was nice. But as soon as they put that roof on there, I called my realtor. I said, hey, we'd like to view that. She said, get ready to spend. I said, what? I said, yeah, people have already put in offers of over $200,000 for this house. And it was barely worth the 140, but it had a fresh roof on it. People were losing their fucking mind. But whatever. We're happy we got the one we got. And had to come to color agreements for the roof. Guess we're getting Hartford green.
Okay, I can see that.
Which is like it's a darker evergreen. The other green was like Christmas green, like fucking green, like 2 shades away from being lime. Me, I'm a barn red man. I like red, but She didn't want the red. So, okay.
That's how you have to sell it. You just got to give them options.
Yeah. So we're going to get the little icebreaker things put on there or whatever. But yeah. So one of the few gifts that 2020, segue here, has bestowed upon us, Naughty Dog has come through with another beautiful, beautiful game, which Scott just got to see me play a little bit here right when he showed up. I'm talking about The Last of Us Part 2. It has been delayed for months because of the COVID, and they said they needed more time since everybody was working remotely. And I know we were on record when I stated, you take your time, Naughty Dog. You take your time. And that time waited was not in vain. I don't know how far I'm into this game. It feels like halfway, maybe even 3/4. I haven't beaten it yet. And it is hands down one of the most jarring experiences I have ever played in a game. I have never had a game evoke such...
Sorry.
You gonna live?
Yeah.
Yep. Get it out. I have never had a game evoke such emotion and feeling from me in my life. And by I mean emotion, it made me cry. It fucking did. And I am not proud of that. But I am proud of Naughty Dog for making a game that elicited that response from me. Because I am so invested in those characters from the first one. I've been playing that game since it came out in 2014, around that area. And every year, it was like a homage. And it was so good that every year I would do a playthrough. It was just my annual playthrough of The Last of Us. Because it's such a great game. Still is. Still holds up. And then I get into this one. And in like the first hour, they ripped my goddamn heart out. And it wasn't just like, oh, this happened, the end. It was the way they did it. They didn't, for as beautiful as this game is, and it's got some of the best graphics I've ever seen to date, the way that they kill some characters in this game, and the first one that they take, I'm not, hey, no spoilers, but they took some characters off the board. Okay? And when one of them gets taken out, with the graphics that they have and the technology that we're able to push through and the power that we can run on this PlayStation 4, right? You can get away with some gory, over-the-top stuff. But Naughty Dog took the high road by making it simple and by simple I mean it was borderline like a masterstroke of elegance the way they took this character out. But it was so pitiful and so sad when they did it that I was there going, no, please, 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 no. Like, I was pleading with a screen during a cutscene. I was like, please, God, no, don't do this. And I didn't believe it when it happened. I was like, oh, they cut the screen out. They cut the screen out. That it might be good. Nope, weren't good. And I was cool until I had to go to this character's house. And I walked to the house, and they had, like, the whole town had placed, like, flowers out, and it looked so fucking like it was what memorials, what people do, and just the way it was presented and the look of it and the emotion through the music and the ambiance and how everything was animated, it was to a T, spot on, and it hit me like right there. I was like, oh fuck, oh God, oh fuck, like I had pause, walk away, and just be like, ooh, because it got me. It got me.
Had you all emotionally invested.
And there's more. There's so much more. There's things in the game that if you miss it, you'll never even experience it, which is a stupid way to say it for something that if you followed the first one, if you know the ins and outs of the characters and remember the things that some of these characters talk to with each other, like there's a little extra thing that you find while you're in the second one. And when you do it, you're like, oh man, I remember they said they were going to teach him how to do that. And like, I got emotional again. I was like, oh my God, like what is happening to me? Like, it's so good.
I'm so hormonal.
That's what I felt like. I called the old lady. I was like, what's happening to me? I don't know what's happening. Am I hitting menopause? Oh my God, man.
Bring home donuts.
It was so bad. It's such a good game. And it's the new character types, the new enemy types are fantastic. There's the amount of detail that they put into this game has been the likes of which I've never seen since their last title of Uncharted 4. Because they put so much detail. They actually still, to this day, have a guy on staff at Naughty Dog that will go through and systematically remove minute details. Has to remove the details so it can come in to where it'll operate on the PlayStation 4. Because these guys are running on these supercomputers and the dev kits and stuff like that. And they go, okay, frame rates are dropping. We got to start removing shit because they've packed it full.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody has to go through and remove it. And still, though, there's so much detail. But even the mechanics of the game, like I was running through, got shot, got blindsided, knocked to the ground. And, some games you get knocked over and you're trying to aim and defend yourself. You got to wait for the animation, the character to get back up. Nah. As soon as you got knocked down on the ground, I was on my back. Boom. Like laying on my back, aiming, shooting.
Nice.
Like fighting for my life. And that's what that game feels like. I knew the first one we talked about was gritty and very visceral. But the second one, like you really feel like you're fighting for your life in this. I've been afraid in the first one, like, oh man, I'm going to die. Now this one, it nails it. You really feel the immersion. Because sound design was one of the best things I've ever seen in this. Because like characters will run on a video game. So, they have to record the voice actor going, running and breathing hard. And you're like, all right, whatever. You can usually hear the same things. I can pick up the pattern of them breathing. This one, nope. I can't detect the pattern. I don't know how much of one of the character they had her recording, breathing hard, like running for her life, but it's just they kick it up to where that's almost all you hear is the breathing, and they drown a lot of it out. So it's very like just it's gritty to keep using that word to beat that dead horse of a word. It's just I love it.
I will say, like, the atmospherics look spot on, like perfect. Like they are just, you can't even put into words the place that it puts you in.
Mm-hmm.
And you have me really excited about this. I feel like I'm going to have to go back and play the first one before I do this.
I highly recommend it because I had just finished my annual playthrough right before this one came out.
It's been a while. Like I remember the gist of the game, but like I forgot a lot about the characters and whatnot.
Yeah, so you had Joel, and then the little girl Ellie who ends up being immune. This is a spoiler from the first one, so I'm sorry. If you're listening to us talk about The Last of Us Part 2, chances are you've already played Part 1. Sorry, not sorry. And then you got Joel's brother Tommy and then his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy and his wife had that settlement out in Jackson where they built around that hydroelectric dam.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where it kind of ended on the first one. So it picks up with them. They're back in Jackson, was where they've been living. And it's so good.
Yeah, like the best way I can describe that game from the brief 30 minutes I saw of it was, and also going back to the first game, is they make a perfectly well-rounded game.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like it has exceptional graphics, mechanics, atmospherics.
Yeah, they don't just build a game. They don't just tell a story. They weave this beautiful just
tapestry.
It's tapestry. They ain't making no shit-ass quilts. They're not crocheting. They're running a loom. And in that loom is gold.
Mm-hmm. Like even the storytelling is enthralling.
And the music, I love the music to it.
Oh, yeah.
That just sad, off-key guitar that's kind of Spanish influenced. And,
just the random sounds as well.
This has been like at least 10, 15 minutes of me literally just
chugging out. Yeah.
Just chugging Naughty Dog's dick. Just love it. It's delicious.
Please give me some more, sir.
As soon as we're done here, I'm going to go back and gobble some more of it up.
Please, sir, may I have some more?
That is the proper depth in which you know that you have blown Naughty Dog. You don't just give them a little kiss and say thank you. You will know when you have blown that company enough and been thankful for them when you go, when you gag on it, on your thankfulness.
Yeah. I did hear somebody
Oh, yeah. Wait. So, real quick,
super quick.
the prime location for The Last of Us Part 2 was fantastic. It was so ironic because The Last of Us Part 2, the meat and potatoes of the story, the main part of it that I can tell so far from what I've played, takes place in Seattle. I've been there 2 days and probably killed 100 people. And at one point, she's just like, fuck Seattle. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, some people are going to get so offended.
I had something and then I lost it. Oh, no. I was listening to like one of my regular podcasts that I listen to, one that's pretty highly syndicated.
Joe Rogan?
No, I don't listen to that one.
Because he's like, well, the number one, isn't he?
But I did hear someone refer to 2020 as a dumpster fire. I was like, yeah.
Yes, it is.
No, you were the first one I've ever heard refer to it as a dumpster fire. So
I can't take credit for it either because my oldest brother, for his HVAC company, he is selling limited edition 2020 T-shirts for his company. And on the front, like instead of like the lapel, it used to be like the eyes on like the alligator or whatever. It's a little dumpster with a fire coming out of it with 2020 embroidered inside of it. He's like, get your limited edition 2020 dumpster fire shirts. I said, oh my God, I'll take 2.
That's perfect. I think everybody's becoming emotionally exhausted.
That's the thing, man. Like we've been saying, everybody's got to step back and take a breath.
Yeah.
And ironically, I think that's what we're going to be doing here when we close out season 2 today and start season 3. So I don't know if we're going to take any kind of an actual stopping the uploads just yet. I mean, probably right around the 4th of July, I'd say. So we'll have another episode next week. And then, yeah, we'll probably take a break on the 4th. Sound good?
Sure.
And that way we can get like a month's worth of episodes recorded, and I'll go on my beach trip and already have the uploads pre-scheduled. And
that'll do you a world of good.
Yeah.
Like I feel a lot better after my little weekend trip.
Oh, I got one other piece of good news. As you have heard, but other people do not know, I just got picked up for my 3rd video game title to do voiceover for.
Is the first one out yet?
The first one has been out, and it's a dumpster fire of a game.
Really? I thought it was supposed to.
No, that's the second one. That's the second one. That's Paws and Soul.
That's the one I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
that's the second one I've done. The first one I did was for the same company, for Electro-Stalin Entertainment, the Russian indie title. And the first one that I did for them was called The Typical Nightmare. And it looks decent. It has moments where the game actually shines, but it's just so, I don't know what it is. A lot of these Steam indie titles, they're so labor intensive or resource intensive. They're just some kind of resource hog when they shouldn't be, and creates a severe frame rate drop where it almost looks like stop motion animation. And I got to play like a thug in that game, and the protagonist's alcoholic father. And I'm like, my only line was like, "Stop crying, quit being a little bitch. I'm just an old man set in his ways." And I'm like, oh God. But the second one is Paws and Soul. Look for that anytime now on Steam. It's supposed to be released here by the end of this month, July. And we just finished the voice acting for that here a couple weeks ago, where I actually got to play the lead character. I play the wolf, which they wanted a gravelly southern accent for a wolf, which I said, okay, that's weird, but you're paying me. But the third title was through Red Ruins Software, who the guys that I've been working for through Electro-Stalin Entertainment, they, I guess, hooked me up with them. And they said, hey, they would like you to voice a character for this game. And I said, what's the game? And they said, Breathedge. And I softly shit myself because I own this game on PC and I've been playing it for the last few weeks and I love it. It's like that game Subnautica that a lot of people like, that underwater survival game, crash land on an alien planet and it's underwater and you got to survive. So you're always worrying about running out of air. Same concept, similar concept, except it takes place in space and it's funny as hell. Like, it's got a lot of dark humor in it. Like, you work for the Breathedge Funerary Agency, which is space funerals. Like, yeah. So you die and they put your body in a space coffin and it's got lights on it and it can go travel. But I don't know anything about the plot other than what's in the game right now. And so I'm not being told anything other than the lines that I need to record. And from what I can gather, there's more to it than meets the eye. But the character that I'll be playing is there's the main character, and in the beginning, he's like sitting there, like reading a newspaper, and then there's a coffin in front of him, and it's his dead grandfather.
Oh.
I play the dead grandfather.
How does that work?
I don't know. From what I gathered, it's like a voice recordings and stuff that I'm doing, like some kind of monologues or a last will. But I gave the company like 2 or 3 or 4 different voice variations, and the one they wanted was like this high pitch. I was like, my dear man, like I've been working for the Breathedge funerary agency for 58 years. Like that's the voice that they wanted, was this old fucking man that just like he's been kicked in the balls for too many times. Like that's what they wanted. That's what they went with.
I mean, it's different.
It's
I
a
like
hard
it.
voice to maintain because I have done 8 takes of it and sent them the first 4 in sets of 2. And they said, your voice breaks out. My natural voice was coming out. So last night I was like, I will not rest until I have this figured out. So old Papa River had to go in to his refrigerator and draw out a Coke Zero and then draw out a half gallon of rum, mix it with some ice, and then have like 2 of those. And I'm back here last night in the office just like, my dear man, don't forget to feed the chicken. She is the key. Like, and that's what they wanted. Like, it's perfect. It's spot on. I'm like, oh no. I don't want to be that guy. He has to get 2 drinks in him. 2 Drink River has to show up to do some voice acting. So, well, all right. Let's start traveling with a flask if I have to go to get kicked up in the big leagues.
I like it. 2 Drink River. I don't know how you do it. I have trouble maintaining the one voice I have.
Yeah. There's a lot of voices that rattle around in this head that, the wolf was like, oh, wow, I'm just a southern wolf. Like, this was the kind of bullshit that they wanted. Like, oh, I got to go collect some more of these orbs. Keep jumping through hoops. And so the biggest problem with that right now is translation, language barrier, because they're Russian companies. So the guy I'm talking to, Maxim is his name. He's gotten a lot better. Like with the takes I was doing for this latest title, like he's like, no, you did it wrong. No, you did it wrong. Your natural voice came out. I said, okay, I'm trying. Last email he said, okay, please don't pause here, but pause here for dramatic effect. And right around here, try to maintain this voice. And like, it was clear direction. I said, thank you. Like that, apparently that's what I need is clear, concise direction. Like I needed the details to know where I was specifically fucking up. And once I had that and got my 2 drinks in me, I said, okay, we're ready to do this. But yeah, I'm super excited for that because the fact that it's a game that's already out, that it's an early access, which is what a lot of people do. A lot of these developers do, these smaller ones, because they don't have to hire game testers. Like I paid them like $20 or $13 or whatever it was for the title, played it. And by the way, it is superbly polished. It has some amazing graphics and one of the best physics engines I've ever seen because your inventory space is finite and you're picking up balls of ice, balls of nutrition goo, like scrap metal, everything that you can find and fit in your inventory. And you have to keep going out to get more and you're just grinding to make shit to survive. My inventory filled up and I just dropped it all in my little capsule pod thing that is your little base when you start and just dropped it all out there. And there was probably 40, 50, 60 balls of different items there. And you could just like, you can look down, that's another mechanic. Some games you look down and you're just a floating head. Like there's nothing there. You look down, you see your suit and your hands and your legs and everything moving. And you watch as your legs are kicking through all this debris while you're walking through it. And it's moving realistically with whatever physics engine they're using. I'm not sure if it's the Unreal Engine or not, but it's fantastic. I have not seen that in some solid gold AAA titles. And this title to me, the first 2 indie titles I did are single A indie titles. They're working hard. They're really trying. They don't have a lot of budget for it. This game that they hooked me up to is, I said, solid AA, if not like a borderline AAA title with how good it is. I'll try to include any links that I can for that game to help drum up some support for it because it's an extremely underrated title.
It just works.
It just works. No, I'm telling you, you'll look at this. I mean, graphically, it's just phenomenal. But
I mean, it sounds interesting.
It does, and it has like a vibe to it that's more of You remember like the old Toe Jam and Earl games?
I never really got into those.
Man, it's got
like
got
a
that
like a
dark humor.
weirdness vibe, like a
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, and
like a weird sci-fi vibe.
There's inside your little base too. There's base building apparently. I just discovered that. I've not even gone anywhere near doing it yet. I just haven't played that anywhere after that. I just picked up a base builder thing. But there's music. The music that they pulled it, I guess, from mainly YouTube's audio library, which is where we pull our music from.
Right.
But there's really good music on there. And this song, it's called like Panama Hats or whatever. I love that song so much.
I gotta hear this.
That I made it my ringtone.
I gotta hear it.
Oh yeah, we'll play it in the background while we're talking, but I'll have you listen to it here now.
Well, you know what my hope is for you.
Huh?
I'd like to see you, and it's not feasible because the game's probably already well into development. Is the next Elder Scrolls game? I want to see you in some dark corner being a wizard.
If traveler has coin, Khajiit has wares.
Oh wait, I got it right here.
I think you would make an excellent dark elf enemy wizard or something. I don't know. A necromancer or something.
It's got the best lyrics ever.
Okay.
Just wait for the chorus. The YouTube comments on this is like, I love that part in the song where he goes, rip-a-tup-a-tup-a-tup. Had I known this song existed in the YouTube library, I probably would have made it our intro song.
It would fit.
This tuba. So when I do play that song, though, we gotta make sure. I have to make sure that he does, the author or the songwriter, or whatever. That's one of the ones that requires attribution, where I just got to copy paste. This is his song. Like we can't.
You got to give him credits.
Yeah, you got to give him credits. A lot of the music, like the music I pull that we use for the show, 99% of it or so is it's all designed, or it's all the music that doesn't require attribution. You can just use it, take it, whatever. They don't care. It's easier. It's just less shit to copy paste, you know.
I hadn't been camping in years.
Yeah.
Like we went a lot when I was a kid. You know, my aunt and uncle had a camper that, you know, we used a lot, and, you know, we went tent camping a good bit, but it had been years, and I forgot how enjoyable and relaxing it is.
Yeah.
And I would encourage anybody in our area or any state in our country, you know, to visit your local parks, state parks, national forests.
Forests.
Forest.
I like to go to the forests and see all the squirrels.
I know the way.
do you know the way? Do you know the way where I keep my nuts?
I feel like that would be, like right now is the perfect time for that.
Yeah.
Nice, relaxing week, whatever you want to do.
I ain't doing jack shit till August. I'll make sure I spend as little money as possible so I can blow as much money as possible when I get down there.
I hear you.
But all right, guys, it looks like that's all the time we have here for this episode, for this season finale of Season 2, with a fucking vape hit on the outro. Way to go. Like, as long as we're consistent. So don't forget all the other ways here that you guys can listen. You can check us out through YouTube, iHeart Radio, Stitcher, Spotify, Sounder, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. Don't forget also to check out a little bit of the Spread Shop merchandising we got here, because if the audio controller truly is shot, I blew the last of the money I got right now on that one, and it's going to suck trying to scrimp together to get another one if Focusrite never gets a hold of me. So check us out there at shop.spreadshirt.com/TET show. That's TETSHOW. Pick yourself out a nice little coffee mug, maybe a hoodie. Hell, we're even selling dog bandanas on there. Even got a few iPhone cases and Android cases too, looking real nice. But all right, guys, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And until we see you next time here for the opener of Season 3, peace out.
Later.